I
And
think
we're live.
going.
We are live.
We're going. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is our first ever episode of Tales from the Casket, exploring all things horror. I am Raphael Mitchell from San Diego, California, lead vocalist of Dead Rise, a theatrical horror metal band, and also the CEO of DRM Productions, video, photos, and that almighty content. Yeah, let's introduce everyone else. Let's do it.
My name is Cliff. I'm based here in California, and I am a cosplayer slash scare actor slash amateur YouTuber and a horror lover.
This is Ben Stitchhouse, based out of Salt Lake City, Utah. I am also following the footsteps of Raphael. I play music, I play guitar in a handful of goth bands and vocals and some others. Thanks for listening to our first show.
Yeah, this is exciting. It took us a minute to get here and figure shit out, but here we are. I'm stoked.
Forgot how to hit the record button, didn't we?
Let me see. Oh shit, it says recording. Okay, we're good. Hear me. Don't do that.
Raphael, what got you into horror? How did you start down the path of darkness?
Oh, the darkness. Well, actually, I always loved horror ever since I was a kid. I don't know why. I don't know where it came from, but ever since I was a youngin', it's my holiday. It's my life. It's actually a freaking lifestyle. But I guess you can say early on, even when I had little birthday parties going back to school, I would always rent the scary VHS horror movie.
You were that guy.
I was that guy, unfortunately, those for those kids. So every time I had a party, all I would rent was horror movies, and they would call their mommies and want to go home. And then I'm sitting there with a big ass smile on my face, like, this is sick. I don't know why they're scared. So it's always been a thing for me. But if I had to choose like a movie or something that got me into it, it has to be Nightmare on Elm Street 1.
I feel like
I'm
that's
just a 90s kid.
yeah.
I realized that was a thing. It was like probably early 90s. It just captivated me because it was so subtle, but so spooky at the same time because you're getting attacked in your dreams by Mr. Freddy Krueger and you can't do anything about it.
Yeah, you can't escape it.
I was the kid running down the hallway, turning on the light switch to go to the bathroom because it was that scary.
I think A Nightmare on Elm Street was like a lot of people's introductions, especially for people like around our age. I know it was one of the first like horror movies that I ever saw as a kid as well. You couldn't escape Freddy Krueger. He was everywhere, like in the pop culture zeitgeist.
He was a rock star.
Yeah.
Damn sure. What about you, Mr. Helm?
You know what, dude? I've been a horror fan since I was like a little kid. I credit my mom, honestly, for getting me into horror. It all started with going to the kids today won't know anything about this, but going into those mom and pop video stores before even Blockbuster existed, before Video King, before Hollywood Video, and going into those places that were like kind of dingy, dangerous, had like a warehouse smell. All the VHSs were on wire racks. You know what I mean? And I always gravitated towards the horror section, like just falling in love with those covers of those movies and letting my imagination run wild and seeing all the posters lined up across the walls in the video store. And like my mom, she would let me rent them, like depending on what the horror movie was. But some movies I saw that were probably I was too young to see, but that's what created my passion and my love for the genre. And it continues to this day. That's a huge bond I have with my mom. So I credit her the most for making me the horror fan that I am today.
Yeah, mama.
Mom's
Yep.
brainwashing you at a young age, huh?
What about you, Ben? What got you into horror, man?
I'm going to take a different direction. I feel like you guys said, Nightmare on Elm Street was a huge step for me. But do you remember the book Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I remember you would go to the Scholastic book fairs when we were a kid, and you'd walk in there with $3, and you're like, motherfucker, this is the shit. And you would open it, and they had the illustrations from Stephen Gamble, and you'd look at it, and it would scare the living crap out of you. And it was just a photograph. It was just a word. Another big one for me was the band Black Sabbath. I remember my dad would listen to it, and you would just hear it, and you're like, holy shit, what is this? So for me, I would almost credit Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark as being this huge stepping stone into, when I say horror, I'm going outside of just film into the culture and just an elementary school kid sucking it up. I think every adolescent boy is infatuated with horror.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
You're afraid of it, so you want more of it.
It's funny you mentioned Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. There was a book that also got me into horror, like at a young age. I don't think it's the same book, but it's something very like similar in title. Like there was one story in particular with a girl. I think it was called The Green Ribbon.
I haven't read that or seen that.
I'm going to spoil it for everybody right now. So here it comes.
Okay.
I mean, if you haven't read it,
Spoiler
if you haven't read it, the book's been out for 30 plus years. But no, it's like a boy and a girl that they have a romantic link, and they're young, and she always has a green ribbon around her neck. They grow up together, they get married, they have kids, they get older, and he's like, why haven't you ever taken that green ribbon off from your neck? And then, of course, at the end of the story, she takes the green ribbon off and her head falls off onto the floor. But I don't know. As a kid, though, I was like, holy shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It scared me. But I honestly, I can't remember what the name of the book is, but it was like a very similar book where it told a bunch of short stories. And dude, I read it all the time as a kid. I wish I could like remember the title of that book.
I asked my therapist why I am obsessed with death and horror, and she's let me tell you about the book Scary Stories. I guess it was taboo to read those books back then, and it was like they were like a lot of parents didn't like them.
Yeah, they were banned in some areas.
Yeah,
but when you go back and you read them, they're so whimsical and fun. They don't come from a terrifying place. They come from heart. So it's interesting how that works.
That was like a teaching book to keep kids in line or something like that. Like they had some lessons in there for you.
Lessons.
Don't be
don't get a spider in your face.
Yeah.
Don't marry a girl with a green ribbon on her neck. Her head's gonna fall off.
Noted. I've just added that.
I'm sure we were all those kids though, man. Like I remember being in elementary school and like second grade, I want to say, I was dressed up like Jason Voorhees at school when everybody else was like Sonic and Mario and
it feels like sometimes. And then I was telling Lisa the other day, my girlfriend, when we go to conventions, I feel like these are my people that aren't around you all the time. They're all in one spot. This is an amazing feeling. So to be in middle school or high school, just being the weird kid, it's okay. It's fun because there's a lot of other weird kids. You just got to wait for the conventions or shows.
Yeah, I would say it's a really happy place to be. It's where you can let loose and you're not trying to impress people or put on that show. You just soaking it in, and you don't have to perform or be anyone else. You just like, I'm here and this is me. It's home.
Yes, horror is life. It's a lifestyle.
And isn't it a trip too that you mentioned, like going to these conventions and being around like your people? Because like even here at home or like in my town, I feel like trying to find another horror fan is like trying to find a needle in a haystack. But you go to a horror convention and then you got thousands of people just like you around you. You know what I mean? And it's like, where are you people? Like when I go home.
Not in NorCal.
Yeah. But I credit like horror conventions like for a lot in my life. That's how I met you guys. You know what I mean? That's what led to this podcast. So
yeah.
They're awesome.
Let that be noted. If it wasn't for Monster Palooza, I don't think this podcast would even happen.
Yeah, I'm very excited for it too. Three knuckleheads that love horror. Let's go.
On that note, Cliff, looking at your shirt, you're wearing a HELLRAISER shirt, and then we're coming up to the 1-year anniversary of the HELLRAISER Hulu series film, the 2022 release. How'd you feel about that movie?
Me personally, man, yes, I am wearing a HELLRAISER shirt today. First of all, let me preface it by saying that I'm a huge HELLRAISER fan. I can't say that like I love every movie in the franchise. I'd be lying. I don't, but I do love the first 4 100%. And I want to say honestly that HELLRAISER Bloodlines, I think, was my introduction to the franchise. I just remember that one being on cable all the time when I was a kid.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know why, but I always remember that one. And but yeah, dude, so I was pretty excited. I was pretty pumped, dude, when they said they were making a new HELLRAISER film, because it's been a long time that it's been for us HELLRAISER fans that we've gotten a good entry in the franchise, especially one that was backed up with some money. So
right.
I was pretty excited, dude. And when I heard that David Bruckner was going to be directing, I had seen The Night House. I think that came out like a year or two before the HELLRAISER.
Fantastic film. I really enjoyed
Oh
that
yeah,
one.
100%, dude. I really liked it a lot. So I knew that the franchise would be in good hands. So I was excited from the get-go. And I tried not to build my expectations up too high because I didn't want to be let down. And honestly, I could say that I wasn't, dude. I really enjoyed the film. I thought it was really well done. And I enjoyed the special effects. I enjoyed the care that they put into the film and respecting the source material. And I thought they did a really good job with being clever and taking it in new directions and introducing new ideas to the mythology of the Cenobites and to the characters.
Like, now, I never seen this reboot of it at all. So it was my first time watching it. And I've seen the original, like a long time ago, maybe one time. So I didn't really, I knew the characters and I knew the demons and stuff like that, but I didn't think that it would translate as well as it did to today's day and age. And I'm like, okay, think I love me some fucking Hellraiser. I was never a huge fan until I saw that remake recently. So
You know, something that's really special about Hellraisers, he was that Freddy Krueger where when I saw him at a young age, I couldn't forget him. I
yeah,
never forgot his image or his likeness. And everything he says is witty, everything he says is smart, everything he says is godlike. And you're just like thinking, this is maybe not the best movie, but it's the perfect character. And
to
the special
compare it,
effects. And like you said, Cliff, they really honed in on that with this 2022 version. I mean, it's beautiful. I don't know if you guys remember at the end of the movie when the Leviathan comes down above the house and
Oh yeah.
start getting lifted in the air, and then the Hellraiser music starts, and you're just thinking, Jesus Christ, this is exactly what I wanted from this film. And they gave it to me, so I'm happy with it. And Jamie Clayton, ooh, what a smoke show. She's gorgeous in that makeup.
100%.
Yeah.
I thought she was an excellent choice to play the role. And I like the fact that they played for in this movie anyways, they played the character as not being male nor female, which is how the character of the Hell Priest was represented in Clive Barker's original novels. It wasn't supposed to be male or female, you know what I mean?
I didn't know any of that. Like, because I was expecting like one male and then or one female and the rest males in the original characters, but that's a freaking new information there.
Yeah, and that's not anything to take away from what Doug Bradley brought to the character, because I mean he was excellent. You know what I mean? He is Pinhead, but I thought Jamie Clayton filled those shoes. You know what I mean? Those are big shoes to fill, and I thought she did a really good job. And I thought she probably honestly represented the character from the novel most accurately because of that.
Yep.
I would say the special effects artist killed it in that movie. It was incredible. The
Tactical
way the
effects.
Cenobites were a lot of flesh and it was more than just leather suits. It was mind blowing. Makes me feel like I'm in the wrong career.
Just to be brutally honest, I literally finished watching it an hour ago.
Oh,
Are you
sweet.
serious?
Yeah, because it's fresh as fuck is in my mind. I was like, I started it last night and I fell asleep. Started it this afternoon.
It was that good, huh?
Getting things set up and getting myself prepared to do this and stuff like that. But then I finally finished it. Finally, about an hour ago.
Please let me out.
Nails in the coffin.
Here's the question. If we're going to rate this, we're going to go 0 to 10 stars, 10 being the best. Let's change the stars to nails in the coffin. How many nails in the coffin are you going to give it?
From a first-time viewer, not really indulged into the franchise as most people. It was an 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10 nails in the coffin. That's pretty damn good.
That's exactly where I'm at. I'm saying about eight nails in the coffin out of 10. I thought it was great. And for being a huge fan, I would say the Hellraiser franchise, for me, the first 2 movies are some of my favorite of all time. And that franchise completely crashed. And it crashed, it burned, and it smothered out. So to have something come back and have this really strong influence of, like we said, just these Cenobites and the beauty, I'm going to give it 8 out of 10. What about you, Cliff?
You know what? I'm right there with you guys. I love the movie and I enjoy so many aspects of it. Like I said, the special effects, I think the directing is really well done. The set design is just beautiful. Whoever did the set design on that film, chef's kiss. Like it's beautiful. You know what I mean? The cinematography, outstanding, and the direction is spot on. I do love the movie. The reason I'm going to give it an 8, and I can't say I'm going to give it a 9 or I'm going to give it a 10, I did feel honestly that it maybe ran a little longer. I think you maybe could have tightened it up, edited it down a little bit, but other than that, it's a solid film. It's a solid film in the franchise, and I'm definitely giving it 8 nails in the coffin.
It took me all day to watch it, and I just kept saying 15 minutes left. I'm like, okay. It's been 15 minutes for 4 hours. I was like, okay.
Yeah, it's the gift that keeps giving.
Yeah,
It doesn't.
It was a little long, but definitely priceless.
Now, do you think they're going to do another sequel to that? I've always hoped that they would start building movies based on Cenobites and more about the box and the Cenobites than, say, Pinhead, and get an overall bigger vision of this world. Because, every movie they're bringing in different Cenobites and these different characters that you fall in love with, and they're gone. What do you guys think? Do you think they're going to expand off this Hellraiser 2022 Hulu? attack.
I would hope so. It's how long do you know anybody know how long this was in the making for to make this one?
I want to say it had been being talked about for quite a long time.
Yeah.
I do like last I read, they were planning to make another film. Whether David Bruckner is going to be attached to that,
Mhm.
I don't know. And I also know that they were also planning a TV series with David Gordon Green, so that was going to be like completely separate from this movie. I don't know if that's still happening. And to be quite
Interesting.
honest, yeah, and honestly, I don't know. David Gordon Green, I have a love-hate relationship with him. So I don't know if I want him touching the Hellraiser franchise, but we'll see. It could be good.
Yeah, you got to give everything a little bit of a chance.
Yeah. I would definitely like to see where this new film can go. I really like the, like I said, the new ideas and new mythology they added to the Leviathan and to how the Lamet configuration works. I like how like you actually need to be cut by the box and it needs to absorb your blood to come after you. I thought that was a pretty cool idea.
I like that it was a transformer robot in disguise box.
Right?
Think
Keeps changing and moving.
I like also too how they like introduce the idea of when the Cenobites come, like when the walls open up, it's almost like a puzzle box in itself. Like walls start shifting, hallways start opening. I thought that was a pretty neat idea. It was pretty cool. So I would definitely love to see where they take it. And you got to bring Jamie Clayton back.
She was great. All the Cenobites are really great.
Yeah, for sure.
they were cool. I was very impressed with all the details on them. I thought it was amazing. But what was your guys' favorite kill?
Something that stood out to me was I can't remember the guy's name. He's got the thing in his heart with his.
Oh, Vought. Wasn't it
Yeah.
Vought? Vought or Voight? Or Voight?
Yeah, you're
We're
right.
already losing credibility.
You're right. I just checked on IMDb. It was Vought
Okay.
or Voight,
Yeah.
however you say it. But
Yeah.
something that stuck out to me was out of his back and then in his heart, he had this mechanism that would every time he would try to do something, it would tighten and cripple him back down. And I really liked the S&M kind of vibe of that. Like every time you stand up, you get pulled back in.
Chained up, bro.
Yeah. 100%.
Or the split throat on the
Out of the characters that
Played
got
out.
healed, which one was your favorite scene that killed?
of course, the end when he's up going up the Leviathan to the top of the house.
Where is that? Purgatory?
Yeah.
Our
Right before the credits too. That was pretty epic when he's laying on that
This
crucifix
is what
type
happens
thing.
after they take you. So that's
Yeah, exactly.
that's what I wanted to ask. Are we all in agreement that he's being turned into a Cenobite?
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
they didn't destroy him, so they're using him for something because that was they had that Saw twist in there. I was like, oh, he knew
Yeah.
money.
So Raphael, I know you're not super familiar with the franchise, but there's a heavy leaning of S&M and sexual agenda in these movies.
I get that.
And if you start watching this Hellraiser 2022, at the end when they're turning him into a Cenobite, he's laying on this crucifix shaped thing, and it looks like a cock and balls. So you're just
No,
kinda
it
like,
was-
and because it's Hellraiser, you're like, did they plan this, or is it just is this a coincidence, or is he laying on a
I'll
cock
look
and balls?
down.
Mhm.
Yeah.
They're taking that away. Don't worry.
What was your favorite kill, Raphael?
The first, I think it was like the first main one when they were about to, like, all hell broke loose, was the girl in the van because she was just there to help, and it
Yeah.
They always
in the
are.
back of the van. I was like, I'm here for support. And then she gets trapped in that other realm, and her fucking head explodes or gets cut off. And they're like, "Oh shit!" Van crashes. And I'm
Yeah.
like, "All right." That got my attention. I was like, "Wow, that's sick."
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that kill a lot. That's probably my favorite because I feel like it's most close to the original films. Because one thing that like I felt in this film, anyways, was in a way lacking is that with the original Hellraiser films, you come to expect like extreme, like gore, extreme violence, and that kill in particular reminded me of those original kills from the original films the most. I thought it was pretty gruesome and it was pretty grotesque, and
Yeah, it had the Uncle Frank feel of just getting pulled apart.
yeah, exactly. So yeah, that was definitely my favorite. But the end, like when he's being turned into a Cenobite, that's easily probably my next favorite kill for sure.
Yeah.
It was cool to actually see like a transformation.
The moral of the
Yeah,
story.
they made it feel godly and just this like
Exactly.
otherworldly, and it was really cool.
I also like how they actually It's cool how the Cenobites have to follow their own rules. So like when she stabs the Chatterer with the Lament configuration, Pinhead's fuck, you're out, dude. And they just fucking tear his ass apart. I was sad to see the Chatterer go because it's probably like my next favorite Cenobite. But I was like, you know what? That's pretty cool that they have their own rules that they have to follow no matter what.
There's been a Chatterer pretty much in every movie almost, so I'm sure he'll be back.
It's the guy with teeth, right?
Yeah.
Loved it. And it's just creepy in general. He's like holding him down with the gate, and he's just, I was like, that's worse than getting teared apart. Because
he's like, are you hungry?
Yeah, he got no lips. He thirsty, a little dehydrated.
Snap into a Slim Jim.
Receding freaking lips.
And I love too how we got more visuals of the Leviathan. That's like something that's always interested me, and we didn't get to really see too much of besides Hellraiser 2. You know what I mean? So it was very cool that like they brought that back and we got to see more of it, and they delved a little more into the mythology of it. It's just such a cool and intriguing like figure. And I like how it's the Leviathan that he is ascended into that transforms him into a Cenobite. I thought that was a pretty cool idea.
Pinhead is a nickname for that character, right? It's not the actual.
The Hell Priest is the actual name, or the priest.
Yep. Okay, the Hell Priest think killing people is a work of art, and I thought that was fucking cool.
Yeah. So, and through the franchise, every Cenobite kind of has a nickname. Butterball, Chatter, Pinhead, Female, Deep Throat. They all have these funny names. CD, Torch,
Barbie.
Stitch. Barbie, yeah. So they all have funny names. One. What's that?
I didn't see this fat one with the glasses.
Yeah, that's Butterball.
Butterball, yeah.
I remember that guy from being a kid. Yeah. Oh my God. Terrifying.
Dude, I actually reached out to Monster Palooza and I was like, hey, do you guys take if I wanted to see like a particular like guest, are you guys open to possibly bringing them? They're like, yeah, what's up? What do you got in mind? I was like, we haven't seen the Hellraiser cast at Monster Palooza in years. I would love to see like the original like Cenobites there. Like they've had Doug Bradley a few times, which has been super cool. I met him twice. But I was like, I'd really like to get like my Hellraiser poster signed by all the Cenobites. I think that'd be dope. And they're like, you know what? You're right. We haven't done that in a long time. We'll keep that in mind and we should do that. And I was like, fingers crossed, please make it happen.
A couple of years ago, they just did that at Days of the Dead in Las Vegas. They had the whole cast. Then they had some of the Cenobites from other movies, such as Angelique.
So that's cool.
It was pretty cool, the original 4. But I don't know if you've seen them. They're all getting pretty old. I met Doug Bradley a couple of years ago, and he's getting up there as well.
Did you meet him at Monster?
I met him at Monster Palooza, and he's fantastic. I'm not one for autographs and meeting celebrities, but there's a couple. Robert Englund and Doug Bradley were, childhood still heroes. So I had to do it.
That's cool, dude. Ben, we were probably both there at the same time and didn't even know it.
You probably had a hockey mask over your face.
I probably did.
Was it the same year as you were cosplaying as Leatherface when you met him? Last year, Monster Palooza, or was it the one before that?
No, it was before that. I
think it was the year that Matt Lillard was there.
Yeah, because it's been a few years ago since the first time I met him. But yeah, he was super cool. Like I was nervous about meeting him because like you hear different things, but I was like, guys, I mean, he's British. I think that's just that's just their way. You know what I mean? He's not very expressive. He's
a gentleman.
He's a gentleman. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I was nervous about meeting him, but he was super cool. And as soon as he saw that I had a Ghost t-shirt on, he's a big Ghost fan.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So we just started of the band Ghost. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So we just started chatting about that. Not a fan of the band though.
Yeah. No, they're all right. I don't.
No, yeah, they're okay.
I don't love or hate
Rats.
I was a bigger fan prior to that release coming out. I'm not so much of a fan these days. I like the older stuff.
Yeah, I blacked out the last time I saw them. I had a great time from what I remember.
Cheers to that.
Cheers to that killer clown. Hold that at your local spirit store.
I was gonna say you went to Spirit this year, picked up a cup.
This is an old one. You know what? That reminds me. I went to four or five spirit stores to do a video, and I didn't pick up a cup. I'm gonna have to go back. So I went to all in my local area.
I've been to 2 this year, so
just to see if they're just to see if they were all equally spooky. But some of them have some stuff that the other store don't, and vice versa. So it's always good to check them all out to see what they got.
I picked up a really great Creep Show long sleeve this year. I was pretty impressed with it.
Sweet.
I'm a Creep Show fan.
I got this t-shirt.
Oh yeah, Terrifier.
Oh, nice.
Never heard of her.
No.
Cliff,
been
have you
to-
gone to your local Spirit this year?
Yeah, I've gone to my local Spirit. I've only gone to one store, but I've wanted to go to a couple other locations.
Let's check it out.
Yeah, I didn't buy anything. I actually did look at the coffee mugs, which is funny because like my cabinet is overflowing, and I want to say half of them were bought at Spirit.
Yeah.
But nothing really stuck out to me. But it's funny you mentioned that you bought a Creep Show long sleeve because I went to a local antique shop that's like here, like where I live. And it's called Incredible Finds. And I actually found Creep Show on Blu-ray in there for $5. And I was like, you know what? I don't own it. So I'm going to pick it up because I feel like it's hard to come by.
That's a win. That's definitely a win in my book.
Yeah, 100%. I'm actually pretty excited to introduce it to my kids because I think that's like a good like gateway horror movie for them.
Oh yeah, and it's not overly scary where they'll like be up all night.
Exactly. Even though my daughter's like, I want to see the most scary stuff that you could show me, Dad.
Bring it. I like her.
Yeah, no, she really does. She wants to see everything. Like she wanted to see Annabelle really bad. So recently we watched Annabelle and she loved it. My son was terrified, but she loved it. And I was like, yeah, you're definitely my daughter.
Not to spoil the future of the show, but speaking of Annabelle and the Conjuring universe, The Nun 2 is coming out in a couple of weeks, and I feel like we should probably jump on that.
Oh yeah.
We should all go to the movies, hold hands, eat popcorn, and see
Handsome.
where it goes.
It comes out tomorrow, right?
Does it?
Yeah, I think you're right. This weekend.
Oh my gosh, I should have pre-game tickets. I'm such a fool.
Yeah, you fool.
It literally comes out on my birthday. It's going to be a present to myself.
Cliff, you're turning 12 all over again.
All over again, man.
To give the listeners some perspective and some background on who we are and what we do, I've actually never met Cliff in person. We've been at the same conventions and the same institutions, but we've actually never met. I've never shaken the guy's hand.
Not in person. I've only stalked his IG.
And Raphael used to live in Salt Lake City, and we used to play music and tour together. So we've played a lot of shows together and shared a lot of beers over the years. And I reached out to him one day and I was like, hey, do you want to do a podcast and just talk horror movies? I don't have any friends that like horror movies. And he was like,
I know the feeling.
And you should meet my friend Cliff. He's like you. He doesn't know people.
I met him once. Let's hang out. And then
yeah, dude. It's gonna be a year ago since we met. We met at Son of Monster Palooza.
I know. And you know what? It came up on my memories and I got the dude butterflies. I was like, that's my boy. I was like, you was so fucking your cosplay. Like I mentioned when I didn't even know you, I was like, this is movie quality to the T. And I appreciated it. I think I went back and found you a second time. I was like, give me more footage.
Hey,
That's
Raphael, can you explain what man butterflies are?
It's when you have a dude crush, your buddy, and you're like, I like what you do. And the other guys, I like what you do. And then memories come up in your stories and you get, it's almost like bubble guts. But
And you
Like
reminisce.
diarrhea?
yeah, almost like that, but it's more excited. It's like more of the fight or flight.
Mm.
I gotta go. Sorry.
Do you get teary-eyed and light some candles and just take the moment in?
Yeah, I fucking go to my Leatherface homemade mask and I light a candle. I'm like, memories of the way we were. Like,
Now, are you guys gonna cosplay at Son of Monster Palooza this year?
I was going to cosplay as a Dead Rise character, as my Dead Rise character, at least one day.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, and people, what are you supposed to be here? Listen to my band.
Bring
And
your
we're-
business cards.
Yeah, yep. I'm fucking strategizing, bro.
And were you doing that because Corey Taylor was originally going to be there?
Hell yes.
I know.
I was
I'm
going to
so
take a
bummed.
picture with him in my Dead Rise gear.
Yeah.
All 5 feet of him.
Yep.
Yep. And then post it to IG and say
And all,
Corey Taylor
all
approves.
12 inches of them too.
I don't
know.
think you can say that out loud.
I can say whatever I want. It's a podcast.
Right. I don't know if I'm going to cosplay, man, because originally I was going to go all 3 days, and now it's looking like I may only be able to attend 2 days.
Boo.
I
and
know.
One
I
and
know.
one.
If I go, it's more than
Take
likely
my camera.
it's going to be Saturday for sure. But on Saturday, I was planning to just get footage, man. I really want to put this Weeble I bought to use. I spent all that money, man. I need to use it.
Yeah.
And not only that, but every day I see you posting content, I'm like, fuck. I'm like, it's so good, dude. It's so damn good. For the listeners at home, like follow Raphael's IG and follow DRM Productions because his content is amazing, dude. You're going places, sir. But
going to the gas station to get another beer.
all right.
I'll be right back. I'm gonna bring my camera.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm planning to film on Saturday. I could cosplay on Friday, but honestly, Friday, dude, it's more chill on Friday, and I just want to see the vendors and check out like what I might want to purchase. I'm not really
Yeah, you gotta have
cosplay.
so you want to film and then actually absorb the experience. I get it.
Yeah, so I usually absorb on Friday, and then Saturday is either for cosplay or in this instance, it's going to be for filming.
Getting back
So-
to the Instagram handles.
Yeah.
Everyone say their Instagram handle. You first, Mr. Cliff.
My Instagram handle is at Helm Street Lives, and I mostly just post my cosplay content. I've started to post a little bit of video content. I'm starting to dabble with that, and I started a YouTube channel recently, so I'm just jumping back and forth.
Nice.
My Instagram handle is Stitch, spelled with one T, so Stitch inside. And I primarily just post pictures of my girlfriend and my bands.
And your
I
cat.
play a lot of cat pictures. That's the important part. I play guitar in Tragic Black. I play bass and vocals in a band called Opaque Shades. I do vocals in All Gone Dead. I play in a black metal band called Substained. So right now I'm running about 4 or 5 bands.
Man.
And a podcast.
Yeah, and it's going to be on YouTube too. I think we're going to try and get that up and running so people could put faces to the voices and the voices to the faces, and
Oh boy,
it'll be interesting.
Here we go.
Well, yeah. Hey, we're gorgeous men. Come on,
Right?
fellas. Have some confidence.
Look at that haircut.
Who are these
Look
shits talking to each other?
We've all got beautiful, lovely, long locks. We've all got nose piercings.
Oh, yeah. That was a thing.
We're like 3 beautiful triplets.
My personal is Raphael _Dead Rise. That's the one if you want to get personal with me. But the professional is _DRM_Productions.
Mm-hmm.
I told everybody I am the vocalist of Dead Rise. We are going to put out a new single this month, which is exciting and a pain in the ass, but more exciting than pain in the ass. But it's going to happen. It's entitled Slow Burn. It's slightly different than what people are used to hearing from us. So I'm very excited to unleash that out into the world.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. If anybody wants photos or videos, get at me.
Oh, and I should mention too that Raphael sent me some upcoming music of his, and I will be reviewing some of it on my YouTube channel. So if you guys want to check that out, my YouTube channel is The Helms Realm. So that's going to be fun.
Amazing.
Do you rhyme? Time. You a poet?
My wife actually came up with that name. I was like, you know what? That's pretty awesome, actually. I think
Take it.
we're actually going to be like some of the events that we're going to be going to. She wants to get in on it too. So I was like, you know what? The Helms Realm actually fits. She wants to do like a Grim Life Collective like type of YouTube channel. So I was like, yeah, let's do it.
That's awesome.
Yeah. You got nothing to lose, right?
Exactly.
A lot of time and effort and energy, but that's fine.
blood, sweat, and tears.
You guys are preaching to the choir.
I hear you.
I was going to take a stab at interviewing vendors or something at this other upcoming event called Creep IE. So it's CreepyCon is what they call it at the Inland Empire. I'm very nervous but excited because I don't know how to interview people. I'm just gonna be like, "What's up? Like your shit? Tell me about it.
Can I buy you a beer?"
I get real friendly and they like me.
You're personable. I think it'll work out just fine for you, bud.
I'm nervous.
Keep pushing it.
Tell me about your Chucky dolls, sir.
I've actually been wanting to check out that convention. I wanted to go to the last one because they had the Terrifier 2 cast there.
Oh,
I was like,
I
damn.
never been to this one, so it's exciting to check it out. I'll be there on the 23rd of September, just the Saturday. You roboted out for a second there, but I got the gist of what you said.
Sorry, I'm half human, half machine. Terminator B, that's me.
I know your secret. Guilty pleasures.
Let's talk about guilty pleasure movies. Do you guys have a movie, maybe something you're embarrassed of, or something that it doesn't have a good review, generally loved, but there's some special spot for you where you just...
If you don't have anything right now, Raphael, I'll talk and let you think about it.
Yeah, you go.
or do you got one?
No, I thought about it earlier, but I don't know.
All right. You think about it, buddy. All right. So a guilty pleasure of mine, I'll probably catch a lot of flack for this, but I really enjoy the Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Next Generation. I know people
It's a
fucking
great
hate
movie.
that movie. Oh, do you really like it? Are you
Yeah.
being serious?
Yeah.
All
I'm
right,
a
all
sucker for
right.
horror and for fucking everything.
Thank you. Yes, dude. Everybody hates that movie, dude. I enjoy it. I think it's
That was a kid
hilarious, dude. Matthew McConaughey is just chewing up the scenery.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? You got Renee Zellweger in there, dude. It's just, dude, it's hilarious, man.
The robot
And
lady.
honestly, like little secret. Oh yeah.
What it sounds like.
And then the fucking that dude at the end that's like from the Illuminati or whatever
Yep.
with his nipple piercings. Why are his nipples like down on his stomach? But no, dude, I love that movie, dude. I think it's hilarious. I actually introduced it to my wife like this past year. And honestly, out of all the films, I think this might be my favorite just because I enjoyed the experience of watching it so much. And I was like, exactly, right?
It's crazy.
You know what
huh?
I mean? It's insane. And here's a little secret. Right now, I'm in the midst of purchasing a Next Generation poster mask. And that might be a future cosplay coming up. I might have to get the pantyhose out and see what dress I could fit
That was
into
the
that in my
sexiest
wife's closet.
Her face that to date, I think.
That was a great movie.
Very Buffalo Bill inspired, but
Yeah.
I dig it.
The
Dude.
the
I don't
overacting
know.
in that movie is just it's perfect. You know,
Yeah,
Don't go to prom.
and Leatherface is like screaming more than the victims in
right.
that
It's
movie.
true.
So what about you, Raphael?
He's mocking them. Oh God. Okay, I'm gonna have to say, guilty pleasure would be Witchboard. If
Ooh,
you-
I haven't seen that.
No, check it out. It's badly good. It's so
Yeah.
Got a
bad.
lot of boobs in it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Who doesn't like a lot of boobs?
Every time me and Lisa watch, I'm like, babe, boobs. She's like, I know, I have some.
Pause.
I know,
Rewind
but-
Like I've seen that
These are-
before.
These are 80s boobs.
They're
She's
different.
Like, I got those.
They got tan lines.
They're high waisted panties. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I'm saying it. I'm saying it now, dude. Bring back the tan lines. We
Yeah.
need to bring that
Yeah,
back.
I'm okay with that.
I'm a fan.
Bring it back.
I'm a fan.
I'm gonna have to watch that movie, dude. Is it an old? So it's obviously it's an older movie if we're talking about tan line boobs.
Oh,
So
yeah.
when did it come out?
Exact date, I'm not sure. I know it's 80s, but I know it's on Amazon. Check it out. I can Google that shit right now.
I'll watch it. 100%. I'll watch it, dude. I love discovering like new little gems.
Yeah. It's
I
not
don't know if it's a gem. That was some VHS stuff going on over there.
You'll be surprised with what kind of movies I really like from that era that are just like what most people would consider like trash.
I love trash movies. A
Yeah.
little bit of schlub is good.
Ways trash. Fucking it was 86, baby. My
Ooh, perfect.
year.
Perfect.
86, baby.
Mhm.
Come on down.
I sound like a fucking football dad. Oh, number 86.
So you literally just aged yourself on the podcast. Now everybody knows your
Yeah.
age.
Yep.
They all know
So-
you're 14.
36.
So
Forever.
I guess I'll throw it out there. I'm an 85 baby.
81. I've
Made
got
my
you beat
back
by
hurt.
4 and 5 years.
Hey, we're all 80s. That's what matters.
Yep.
80s, ladies.
Couldn't tell. 80s.
We came from the last great decade.
100%. I feel like I was fucked. I was born at the wrong.
How did that work for you?
No, I feel like I'm like, come on. These songs are hits. If I was in the fucking 1980s at fucking Whiskey Go-Go, I'd be fucking there, bro.
Yeah.
Dude, the 80s were great, dude. The movies were great. The
Yeah.
fucking the music was great. The drugs were great.
Yeah, they were okay. No fentanyl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Money was-
Pre-fentanyl.
Money was flowing. Everybody was happy.
I wasn't making money in the 80s.
Serial killers everywhere. It was-
Serial- exactly. Creating great content for later, great docuseries for
No.
later.
Thank you.
You could murder people without getting caught. It was great.
Yeah, and a heat wave.
With DNA forensics now, we'll catch you 30 years later, but you know.
I dare you to swab your mouth now.
I love the 80s, man. I was curious. So wait, did you give your guilty pleasure, Ben?
Go.
No, you didn't ask. Thanks for asking.
Yeah, what is your guilty pleasure, sir? Hey, what since we're on the theme of Hellraiser, what is your pleasure, sir?
So I don't know if you guys know Tom Devlin or Full Moon Pictures.
I do.
It's ridiculous and over the top. But to fall asleep, I always put on the Killjoy series. I don't know if you guys ever saw that, but
I haven't, but I know what it is.
yeah, there's a whole bunch of them. They're really terrible, but there's something really special about them that I just love. I'm like, oh my god, I could watch this shit every day, and it's the worst shit I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Complete trash movies, but they are
That's
so
fine.
much fun.
And you know, it's
So when
Lisa
when I'm trying to fall asleep, I'm like, I'll just put on Killjoy. It's fine.
yeah, it's like,
Especially the later ones, man. They're out of control.
How many are there?
A good question. Probably 10 or something.
Jeez.
There's a ton of them. They go back pretty far, but they've brought it back, and they're almost like watching Insane Clown Posse or something. They're out of
Jeez.
control and really bad. But you just lay there in bed chuckling. Oh my god, who thought of this shit?
So basically, it like went the route of Puppet Master.
Yeah. So it's the same effects team, a lot of the same people that are involved with Puppet Master, involved with Killjoy. So it's terrible trash shrub, but it's special in a weird, terrible way.
That takes place at the carnival or something. Or is that...
Yeah. So there's a lot of them. Some are at carnivals. Some he started out as being just like a serial killer clown dude.
Yeah.
Then he's transported to hell and back. And if you ever get bored, watch some of the later ones, and you'll just, oh my god, they're funny.
It's like some Are You Afraid of the Dark stuff?
I heard they brought that show back.
Did they? They're
Are You
like,
Afraid
oh
of the
god,
Dark?
I had no data.
You know, when we were just talking about things that got us into horror. Do you remember Goosebumps?
Yes,
I feel
100%.
like that changed every kid's life. They were like, holy shit, say cheese and die. What the fuck's that mean?
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Of course, my
Serious
favorite book
about
was The Haunted Mask. That was my jam right there.
Yeah, that one was great. Yep.
Especially being somebody like dressing up in costumes. Obviously, I still do it to this day. So like, yeah, that was my jam, dude. That book, because I just love dressing up as my favorite horror character. So that's the one that I related to the most.
Here's a piece of trivia for you. I played in a horror punk band recently, and the artist Tim Jacobus drew our record cover. And Tim Jacobus is the same artist that drew all those old Goosebumps covers, like Say Cheese and Die, and
that's badass.
All the old stuff. And he did our album cover, and it's actually really cool. I feel immortalized by Tim Jacobus, and I'm pretty stoked on that.
Email
fucking awesome.
Inserted here. Watch later.
It's a cool piece of art.
I was curious, since we're like on the subject of guilty pleasures, has there been any like film you've watched recently that you thought was pretty good within the genre?
I watched Boogeyman. It just came out I don't know, maybe a couple months ago. And I fucking really liked it. It was a corny jump scare movie. Everything's jumping off the walls to get you, but it was fun. It was corny, but fun.
I've been contemplating to try and check that out someday.
So yeah. I would recommend it if you want a good jump scare movie that's kind of action packed a little bit.
Yeah.
What about you, Raphael? Have you watched anything recently?
Nothing new recently. I'm a fucking broken record, dude.
So Hellraiser was the most recent thing you watched?
Yes. 2 hours ago.
Yeah. I watched a movie recently on Hulu that actually Myra was the one who came across it. She was just like doom scrolling through Hulu, and she's like, this movie looks pretty good. It's called The Menu. And
loved it.
Oh, you watched it? Dude, it's so good. It's so fucking good.
Okay, I'll check it. I wasn't sure about that one when I saw the previews. I was like,
Raphael, being somewhat of a chef yourself.
Yeah.
Cannibalism, I assume.
Spoilers.
Rib, some green inferno.
I'll say this. I'll say this much. It keeps you guessing, and that's what I really liked about the movie.
I would agree. Yeah. The other day we were at my girlfriend's dad's house, and he's like, "Are you seen that movie, The Menu? It fucking sucked." And I was like, mind blown. I was like, really?
Wow.
It was incredible, but he didn't like it.
No, I thought it was really good, dude. And you got Nicholas Hoult, you got Anya Taylor-Joy, Ralph Fiennes. They just totally killed it, dude. Such a good movie and clever. Like, there's no other movie like it.
Yeah, it was very different, which is something I always look for in a movie.
Yeah.
Even if it's bad, if it's different, then it's cool, you know?
Yeah. I think you'll appreciate it, Raphael, because I know you love to cook.
Yeah. I love me some barbecue.
Yeah.
Brother's barbecue. So good, make you want to smack your mama.
Yeah, you'll enjoy it, man.
Hey,
don't worry.
So this is my first podcast ever. I don't know what to do if you have to pee.
You don't even got to pause it. You just go pee and you edit this part out.
Yeah, you edit this.
I gotta pee.
Let's talk about Raphael the whole time.
Yeah, we should.
We
just talked about how you like to wear lingerie on the weekends and
only on the weekends.
Yeah.
So we were just talking about that you're going to CreepyCon here in a couple weeks. This weekend in Salt Lake City, we have the Oddities and Curiosity show.
Love it.
So it's a little bit horror based. I have some friends in from Austin that are vending and from Denver. So it's going to be a lot of fun, but I don't know if you guys have been to an Oddity show. It's just a bunch of crazy, weird shit everywhere. And you see a lot of people carrying like moose head taxidermy.
Is there?
Oh, nice.
Do they travel? Do they go to different states?
Yeah, it travels
I
from.
think
They
I
have
think
one
I
in Los
saw one
Angeles.
in Orange County,
Yep, they
having
sure
one
do.
at the end of September or something like that.
Yeah,
But
and
it was
it's-
like happening at the same time I was doing something else, so I was like, "Fuck!" I wanted to go.
yeah. So it goes around, and there's a lot of just vendors and a lot of fucking people watching to do. A lot of drinking, the good stuff.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love the oddity stuff. Hashtag Bearded Lady Museum, Mystic Museum.
It's a fun time. What about Slashback?
Love me some Slashback. I think they're changing it up right now, which is freaking cool.
Are they going to take out that video store?
They're changing the look,
Okay.
the different vibe. I don't know what exactly to do. I'm trying not to watch their stories because they're putting up little updates. I'm like, no, I don't want to know. Just tell me when it's done.
I gotta wait.
I'm that guy. I've stopped watching previews as much as I can just to go.
You don't watch movie trailers?
I just if it's like a franchise that's been there for a minute, I don't want to watch them. I just want to go see it. I don't want any judgment. Like I wish I didn't watch. That's a whole nother show. The last Halloween. That's a whole nother show.
We gotta touch on that.
Oh,
one
I
for
just
sure.
saw the whole movie. Sick.
But
Come on, McBride.
Dude, I don't think I've been to Slashback since they did the Evil Dead experience, which I thought was pretty dope. That was a lot of fun.
I
Seeing
missed
the
that.
original props.
I'm bummed. They were
missed
taking it down, changing it to what it is now. Yeah.
Okay.
Last time
I actually went for the Evil Dead experience too. It was pretty fun.
Again, Ben, we were probably there at the same time.
I bet it was. I bet you're right. I go out to Los Angeles a few times a year. I'm sure I've ran into you.
Yeah, more than likely. We've been in the same area at the same time
Yeah.
at some horror event.
So, Cliff, how far away are you from Los Angeles?
Mm,
It's a 3 or 4 hour drive.
on a good day with not so bad traffic, it'll take me like roughly 4.5 hours to get to Burbank. And then, of course, I'm looking at 5 to get to Pasadena. Once you hit that LA traffic, it just slows you down. But I mean, it's not too bad. It's not too bad.
Yeah, LA traffic is a nightmare.
Yeah, it really
And
is.
it never, ever ends.
No, it doesn't.
Like you start to learn when to go that way and when not to go that way. And even when
Right.
you think you know, they switch it up on you and you're fucked at 4 a.m. You're fucked at 1 p.m. They
Mhm.
switch it up. You never know what you're going to get. So anytime I go and try and schedule anything up there, I'm like, let's just go up the night before and just
Yeah.
be there.
Enjoy your trip, right?
Yeah, just fucking be there.
It's like I love being in LA. I just hate traveling within LA.
Even
Right.
if you're going to another museum down the road 3 miles away, it's still a pain in the ass.
No, it really is.
Raphael, I see you're wearing a Haunted Mansion sweater from Disneyland, and we're talking about LA traffic. Did you see the Haunted Mansion's going to be closed for the next year for remodeling?
I know that's a bummer, but it's okay. Haven't afford to go in like a year.
Yeah,
I
I
can
can't go
wait.
anyways.
Yeah,
Fuck.
I can wait. But I tell you, dude, this is one of the best piece of gear that they put out. There's a back patch. It's all stitched up.
Oh, that's pretty dope.
punk rock. And I was like, okay, Disney.
I'll take it.
Whoever, I'm sure it's a Japanese person because it's super tight and small, but it's stretchy. But it's a little stretchy. So I really hope that whatever the remodeling, that I guess it's just the introduction, like the garden and stuff and the waiting queues is going to be little.
Yeah, they're probably making a place to put that line because that line
it's stupid.
was always in the
It's
way.
in the sun.
Yeah.
As long as they're not changing too much on the inside, man, because if it's not broke, don't fix it. You know,
What do you guys watch the movie that came out recently?
I have not seen it.
I did.
I went and watched it too. I watched everything that comes out. Anything spooky or horror, I've seen it.
Yeah.
I'd go see it all.
We're gonna have to talk about it, brother.
Yeah,
Did-
that's for another episode.
I'll get around to it. Yeah, I'll definitely watch it.
I mean, Jamie Lee Curtis. That's all you need to know.
She's in it?
Yeah, she's Madame in the Madame Tussauds.
Oh,
What's her
Aurora,
fucking...
whatever. Madame.
She's a wax woman, Madame Tussauds.
Oh,
She's just Madame. She's the head in the ball, bro.
nice. Is she in the trailer?
I don't know.
Yeah, it shows
Oh,
her in the
okay.
trailer. Yep.
Yeah, see, I avoided the trailer. I've been trying to avoid trailers over the
What?
past year or so.
What's up with you and Raphael? You're like afraid of the future. You're like, fuck, I can't watch that.
I feel like they expose too much in the trailer, and then I feel like now I know what's gonna happen.
I'm the polar opposite. Every Sunday morning I wake up
Why?
before I go to band practice, I drink coffee and I watch all the new movies. They're like trailers that are coming.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I did watch the new Thanksgiving trailer just because I've been pumped on it for 15 years.
That dropped today, didn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
I found out from a friend that's signed up with was an AMC where you can go see the movies before they're finished kind of deal and be a freaking lab rat.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that existed. And I kept seeing her going. I was like, but you don't know what movie you're gonna see. You don't get to choose.
Oh, that's kind
And
of corny.
okay. And then at the end, you got to sit there and give your opinion for like 30 minutes. Fill out a questionnaire. But
So is this like a membership you have to sign up for, or is it just a
free?
volunteer?
I think it's free. Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
I think you get on the emailing list and that's how it goes. I don't know.
Sign me up.
She saw that trailer and sent it to. I saw it on her thing. I was like, how come I don't know about? How come you know about this before I know about this? But I was like, damn, okay, I'm gonna have to get on that train.
Yeah, it sucks that you don't know what movie you're gonna see, but at the same time, you might walk in there and get to see Thanksgiving. So you might go in there and see a gem, which would be cool.
What if Thanksgiving's a terrible movie?
It could be.
We don't know
Come on,
yet.
guys, let's be honest.
We're
Some terrible movie. That's
gonna love it.
I know.
I'm an Eli Roth guy. I like Eli Roth's material.
I like him. There hasn't been too many movies where I was like I pretty much enjoyed everything he's put out, and people have been looking forward to this to Thanksgiving for how long now? I don't see how you mess that up. I think he's gonna deliver.
I was
About 12 hours, because that's how long ago the trailer dropped.
I like in the trailer how they incorporated like some of the scenes from the fake trailer that was in the Grindhouse.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, cool. They still got the girl jumping up on the trampoline. I was like, I wonder if she's really going to land on that blade. Like in the old
Sounds
trailer.
uncomfortable.
So, yeah, I'm really looking forward to it, man. I'll be there opening night for that.
I just want turkey and stuffing and candy yams and horror.
Me too. It's my
And
favorite time of
horror.
year. Favorite time of year.
You want to stuff horse?
Large.
Large.
See, you watch Hellraiser, and now look at you.
Yeah, now you're in the
That turkey's looking kind of good. Let's put some chains on it. I'm gonna do it. Thanks for the content idea.
Rip it apart and have your way with it.
Apart with chains. Let the dog eat it.
Raphael, I would highly advise you to watch 1 and 2 again. They're fantastic films.
Okay, yeah. Now that it reopened my psyche about this one, I want to watch the originals again.
Yeah.
Part 3, they just walk around and turn everyone into Cenobites. So you guys like a Cenobite that's a DJ and they're shooting CDs out of their heads. And
Yeah, they all have gimmicks.
there's like a barbecue guy and he shoots fire. It's
like
you're what the-
1995 WWE. I'm a mechanic. Cenobite.
It is very much that way.
As silly as that movie is, you have to admit though that well, I don't want to spoil it for Raphael if you're gonna watch it, dude.
I really
I
enjoyed
don't
it.
give a shit. Like we could talk about it. I'm gonna forget in an hour anyway.
That like club/bar scene, dude, where everybody just gets murked. That was a pretty cool scene.
Yeah.
And it was done by Clive Barker. Actually came in and did reshoots, so he's the one who added that whole scene in there, and you can tell because it stands out from the rest of the movie.
Yeah.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. But yeah,
I
those
just laugh when Doug Bradley's in the column and he shoots the bullets at him and then he spits them out and you're like, oh, give me a break.
Yeah. Dude, and the whole church scene too with Doug Bradley is just awesome. Like the whole
Epic.
imagery of it, it's so epic. So
Yeah.
epic. But yeah, no, the first two, Raphael, definitely for sure watches. Those are like honestly like classics. And I still enjoy the third and fourth one too. It gets silly, but they're still fun to watch.
Yeah.
I own them all. I got them all on DVD.
Yeah.
I always tell people when they ask me about Hellraiser, I tell them that the franchise started out as being the best and ended at probably the worst. I can't think of another franchise that dropped so hard over time. Not a single
Yeah.
one.
No, yeah, that's true. Unfortunately, because it
Yeah.
started out so strong.
Right.
The third one is silly but enjoyable. The fourth one is goofy but enjoyable. But I feel the first four films you could have ended it there. We didn't really need anything beyond that.
Some of those movies, they had to keep the rights. The studio wanted to keep the rights to Hellraiser.
Right.
So they took scripts and just added Pinhead to it and called it
Yeah.
Hellraiser just to keep the rights. And that was a slap in the face of all the hard work in the years prior. But I always
Yeah.
tell people when there's a remake or entry to a franchise that you don't maybe agree with or that you don't like, it doesn't take away from the original, right? Like the Munsters, everyone's hating this new Munsters that come out, and I'm like, you still have your old Munster. They didn't go anywhere.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's a good point. That's a good
Whether you like it or hate it, it doesn't really ruin the franchise because it's still there.
No, it doesn't. And quite honestly, it actually probably turns the newer generation onto the older film because now they're going to seek it out and watch it. So you're potentially making more fans for that original film. Yeah. And in my opinion, I actually enjoy the new Munsters. So everybody could suck it.
I will tell you, I thought the visuals on it were
beautiful,
fucking awesome. Yeah, like the colors, the sets, the design. Great. I some of the other stuff was a little bit of a miss for me, but I just watching it, I felt like I was in Halloween. I was like,
yeah, overall I enjoyed it, man. I had a lot of fun with it. I thought it was cool. My kids loved it. My wife loved it. It was just overall it's a fun experience watching it. So
yeah, good seasonal family film.
Exactly. Yeah.
The first time I watched that, I was in a hotel waiting to go to Not Scary Farm, and I remember the colors and everything like that. But why I remember it so vividly is because I realized I didn't buy a main ticket, just a fast pass ticket. So I was stressing out that it was going to be sold out that night.
Oh no!
Lisa was snoring, sawing logs because we went out the night before. We're like, let's do this the next day, and it's 4 p.m. We're all sleeping. I'm like, shit, I didn't get tickets, and luckily I got them. I got them again because they sell out a lot of the time, especially on the weekends, which it was. So I have a panic attack tied to that movie, and it's beautifully colored.
I'll tell you what, Not Scary Farm's a hell of a time, though. It's a lot of fun. I love it.
I think, I don't know if you want to say this for another episode, but I think it's better than most freaking haunts, your major theme park haunts.
A couple of years ago, I went to Halloween Disneyland, Not Scary Farm, and Halloween Horror Nights all in the same weekend. I did it all. It was fucking crazy. Not Scary Farm was the best.
Yep. It's
on that particular weekend. I was pretty impressed. I was like, shit, this is.
I'm telling you, I'm a very big advocate of Knott's. Ever since I was a kiddo, I've been going here since I was like 12 years old. Every year,
it's a fun. Are you gonna go this year?
Fuck yeah! I got a camera. I'm gonna film that. I'm gonna film that shit.
Dude, it's funny you guys mentioned that because I've heard from other people too. They actually prefer Not Scary to Halloween Horror Nights and like the other opposing theme parks.
I still have to go to Halloween Horror Nights, or otherwise I feel like I'm missing out. I have to see what they're doing.
Yeah. The only problem I have with Halloween Horror Nights is it's too fucking busy, dude.
They're too packed. They oversell the shit out.
Yeah, you can't even fucking walk around. And when you get in, I always get fast pass these days, and it's extortion. But it's you still are like fast pass. You're still waiting in line.
30 minutes in some of them.
Yeah.
So you can't do it all in a day. It's frustrating.
Yep.
Yeah. Last time I went to that was when they were doing the Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Exorcist. And what was it? The Bride of Frankenstein.
Yeah. I think I went that year too, Cliff.
Yeah, again.
Yeah.
We were in the same place at the same time.
And they had El Cucuy or something like that. Some
Yep. No, it was pretty dope. I really enjoyed all the haunts. The Exorcist being one of my favorite haunts just because it's one of my favorite films.
Redeemed Halloween Horror Nights. I am stoked that they fucking put Killer Clowns from Outer Space in it.
That is cool.
A couple years. I was hyped. You don't know how hyped I was. I went to the fucking tent and the guy was out there lip singing the freaking intro of like, "Where's my dog?" I was like, yeah, Jared. So I was overly hyped because that's one of my top movies. That movie is one of my good bad movies. A lot of people think it's bad, but it's a classic. It's still relevant today, thank God.
And the Dickies doing that intro was great.
I love that's one of my favorite songs.
Yeah,
written.
Dude, I love seeing like the resurgence for that film finally getting the credit it deserves. And I think it has a lot to do with the brothers. I think you pronounce it, is it like the Kyoto brothers?
Yeah.
Just attending Monster Palooza and putting it out there again. Like them being there and interacting with the fans made that film popular again for this generation. And that's really cool.
I want to get a console just to play Killer Clowns from Outer Space and Texas Chainsaw. I don't know what I need. I don't know if it's an Xbox. I don't know if it's a PlayStation, but I want it just to play those.
They have a video game of those?
Yes.
Oh, man.
Like the only reason I know
I really am old. I know.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's sick. And it's even getting some flack like the Texas Chainsaw one. It's getting banned and shit like that. I was like, of course it is, but everyone's getting all butthurt nowadays. So yeah.
Awesome. I know they had the Evil Dead and the Friday the 13th. I didn't know about the others. It's great.
Yeah, the TCM one just dropped here like a couple months ago, I think. I haven't bought it, but It looks pretty dope. It looks a lot like the Friday the 13th game. It's online play, and you're either Leatherface or one of the family members, or you're one of the survivors just trying to get away. But it looks really cool.
So you don't need a console from that. You just play on the computer.
Uh,
Like that old school game, Doom, like that. Sorry.
Oh.
That shit was amazing.
That shit scared the shit out of me.
Oh, I love Doom. Dude, Doom was awesome.
Yeah.
Even the newer ones. I don't know if you've played the newer ones, but
I don't
they're
know
a lot of fun.
I play it myself more than I play anything else. I don't know anything.
No, yeah.
Or my camera.
Yeah. I did see that little video you posted. You were petting your camera.
Are you guys ready to party?
Awkward.
Don't judge me.
I was like, ooh, what's going on there? What do you do with that camera, Raphael?
DSLR is purring.
He just wants to take some pictures.
Yeah.
I've taken 4 photographs.
Oh, that's a whole nother freaking episode. I would love to talk about that whole series. I think it was amazing.
Mm-hmm. Or have you seen? It's an older film, Peeping Tom.
I sure have.
Cross it. I haven't seen it.
You haven't seen it, really? I think you would enjoy it, man. It's about a guy who likes to take pictures.
Imagine that.
Yeah.
But
There's
yeah, hijinks ensue. Yeah, check it out sometime, man. It's very much in the vein of like Psycho.
nice. I like that.
Yeah.
I like those kind of little thinkers.
Yeah, it's a cool movie.
I just want to say thanks, guys, for tuning in. We should be dropping these every couple weeks. You can find it on all your major streaming platforms. This has been Ben Stitchhouse from Salt Lake City.
Raphael Mitchell.
And Cliff Helm.
Tales from the Casket, exploring all things horror. Thank you guys. First episode.
Peace out. Bye.